Wednesday, May 28th, market analysis. Stan Ehrlich, good morning. I started a little late today, 10:13. Sorry, I had some other stuff I had to finish. Now, I start out with stock market. Indexes go to futures, and I have a few stocks. So I'm going to go pretty quickly this morning. Stocks have topped out with an overbought condition in a resistance area a week or so ago, had a sharp break for a few days, did not come down quite as much as I expected and talked about in advance. Didn't close the gap on the E-mini that you're looking at right now, daily data. And it popped back up again on Friday, and then Monday was the holiday. For some it wasn't. Futures traded on Monday. The stocks didn't. So that throws things off a little bit. But the point is, the market has come back up to around where it topped out a week or two ago. Overbought condition, not at the moment, but the prices are right up there near where it topped out before, which was in a resistance area. No surprise about the price range, especially since it was overbought. You had a 3 or 4 day pullback. Great, but not enough, in my opinion. So now we've had this bounce. Momentarily, we are down just a little bit, not much. All of the indexes did get a little bit higher than yesterday's high. None of them, I'm pretty sure, are overbought at the moment. So let's take a look. Now, what do I expect? I think it's rolling over. I think we're going to be coming back down to test the lows that we made just a few days ago, the end of last week. And that's 57.57, give or take a little, and close that gap, which would be 57.13-ish. I'm not going to give you the exact tick, but it's very close. And then I think that it is well within the reach of this expected and maybe starting today downside correction. I'm looking for something in the realm of 55.70. There's a very good support area down there starting at about 56, even to about 55.50-ish. So 55.75 is right in the middle. The 1-minute chart shows a minor new low for the session a little while ago, about an hour and 15 minutes or so, a bounce. And now, if we continue to make new lows again, we could be on the way down for that correction I just talked about. But I really don't have a lot of evidence at the moment. The spider, same thing. Large gap to close from about 3 weeks ago, right up against resistance, not quite overbought, so that doesn't count. And I'm hoping for, excuse me, a bearish engulfing, which will not turn red because it's not overbought within the allotted number of previous days. But we did get a bearish engulfing on the top so far, and that's great. And I think the QQQ did have a red sell signal on the high day so far. We'll get to that in a moment. Correction, close the gap somewhat, a little tiny bit, not much. Pop back up, and now are we going to turn down again is the big question. If the indexes do not turn down and they stay around where they are and start to make new highs and break above the high that was made on May 19th, that is going to probably push prices all the way to the tops that were basically December, January, February, and early March. Well, okay, late February. Obviously, these three tops for the SPY and these three tops for the E-mini, which are almost the same as you would expect. They're basically the same index. Now, the 1-minute SPY, not showing a lot of weakness, a little. What about the QQQ? It did have a bearish engulfing on the high day, May 21st, and broke down for a couple of days right away. Today's high is a higher high, and that now cancels out that particular signal. Now, I can't say I got a signal at the top. But if we do turn down, and I think we might, I just don't have enough evidence yet, I got a sell signal during the top development, but not the highest high. Now, the lowest low and the highest high frequently are Green for buy, bottom of the market, April 7th, a whopper. A nice sell signal at the top of the market, November 11th. And all you got to do is look for green around the bottoms and red around the tops. And you'll see that these signals occur frequently at those locations, if not the exact highest high and lowest day for a good period of time and a good sized move up or down. 1 minute chart, not really dropping off much yet on the QQQ. The NASDAQ futures, possible little double top, like the QQQ is a possible. At resistance, but not overbought. Same story. We got the NASDAQ bouncing back at a little level of resistance right across there, right now. So let's turn down right now. Maybe, I hope. We're up just a little bit, not a lot. Now, whoops, next. Excuse me, here we go. The daily vertical bar chart on the YM. We got the bottom, we got the top, we got a nice low for a little bit. We got some great signals over time. We are in resistance, and we have a slightly higher high and a little bit lower current quote. So maybe returning down. I know this looks a little like a small head and shoulder top, but the neckline would be too slanted downward, too sharp, and it doesn't qualify in my book. So no. Timing looks right. Price levels look right. It's only the neckline that's too slanted. Next. Yeah, okay. So maybe we're approaching a rally high here. I really can't tell very strongly. I have to be kind of like yesterday, a little ambiguous. But yesterday I finally settled on being slightly bearish or expecting something like we're getting right now. So I'm happy about this, but I want it to be a lot bigger down move. Not sure I'm going to get that. But I do have a comment if I'm wrong, and I've been wrong before, of course. Then it turns into a bullish situation. So we're at a junction here. We're a line in the sand. Next, Russell. 1 minute. Nothing much. We got the bond market now. We had a bullish engulfing buy signal in bonds yesterday. These are often, but not always, the bottom of the market. Now you see we also had one that produced a good rally the next day on May 15th. This is not the lowest low, the exact bottom like that one was on January 14th, and like this one was for the top on April 7th, the exact high days. This one I think is going to work. Of course, I have to say that because I've got green. But right now, we've dipped back down into approximately the middle of yesterday's range, which is not unexpected at all. It's kind of normal. About half the time it does that. The other half the time, it mostly goes right back up. Some of it does not, and it goes down and the signals are wrong. And you take some small losses and you're out. And you wait for the next signals. So, I'm friendly to bonds, and 10-year notes had an outside up day. Now, it's not green because it wasn't oversold within the allotted number of previous days. You came close, but no. But I like the bullish engulfing, absolutely. So, bonds and notes, I think, are about to go up into new highs for a couple of weeks real soon. Next, crude, heat, unleaded, natural gas. So here we got crude. A little bit of a rally in a resistance area between a rock and a hard spot. I'm going to wait to give you some opinion. We have an outside down day, so I have to look at the short side of the natural gas. Not only that, but this is happening unbelievably in line with a double shoulder, head and shoulder top that has a head and shoulder top for the head of the larger pattern. That was a head and shoulder all by itself that worked past tense. Now it's part of the bigger pattern, which is just finishing, in my opinion. And this week, I think it's going to break the neckline. And I actually have two different necklines that are probably legitimate, both of them, which is very rare. The best one is this one here that pivots off of the first important low on January 31. And they both pivot off this low, April 24th. But the difference between the two lines is so small, I think it's going to crash below both of them on the same day, probably the same hour, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same 5 minutes, and break out of both, so it really doesn't matter. The downside objective is slightly different, but the point is it's way down here at about 1.4. Very bearish for natural gas, if it works correctly. And so far, it's working great. Next chart, heating oil, just slipping a little. Today came back up some at resistance. I think it's going to turn down, make minor new lows, and maybe test 1.9 and get back to some support at around 1.88. Gold, silver, platinum. Gold is slipping. It stopped the bear trend line very nicely that I had drawn for you guys before it got up there. So it worked. So far, so good. I'm liking it. And I think it's going to come down to support 3200. And if that does not hold, and I think it's going to get broken, the next stopping point would be previous lows at 3124. And then wherever this trend line is going to be way down here by then. Yep, this line is going to be down to the support area. Yep, by that time. So I think the next stopping point is about 3,000 and a little under. Next, silver. Slipping off a little. Resistance stopped the rallies on the close. Some highs are a little bit above resistance, but it didn't stay there. It closed at the top of the resistance level 2 or 3 times, and now is about to have a new low close, it looks like, for the last 5 days. And soon, maybe yet today, but in the next couple of days, a new low also. Not just a new low close, but the close is going to be below the previous lows, in my opinion. Then 32.4, then down to probably at least 31.8, and then down to 31.0. Bearish, silver. Next. Very, very overbought on platinum. Almost, ladies and gentlemen, having an outside down day, which will turn red. If we tick 1 tick below yesterday's low, this will instantaneously turn red like that one, October 30th, and like that one, May 20th of last year. This could be, if we have a bearish engulfing and it turns red, a very big turning point. I think it's quite plausible. Now, even if it does not have a bearish engulfing ER red sell signal, I like what I'm saying, and I think it's in the process of turning around and heading south. First stop on the downside. Now, probably pretty easy, 1050. Second stop on the downside. I'm going to have to say around 1020. A little lower, 1015. Next is way down at 950. So I'm fairly bearish on platinum. It just went up so fast, so quick on a 2 or 3 day period. It got way overbought up in the 85, 83, 84 area. Next chart. High grade copper, slipping, bumped against resistance almost, close enough. Pulling back. We'll see if it holds support. 4.5, I think, is going to be tested. Probably broken. Next support, 4.48. Tested. I think it won't hold either. And I'm really looking for a breakdown to 4.1. Next. Grain. Beans, oil, meal, corn, wheat. Beans are not holding. They're dribbling down some. This is also between a rock and a hard spot. I got to wait for some definitive breakouts. Same thing for soybean oil. Same thing for soybean meal. I'm sorry, they're all doing about the same damn thing. Very, very indecisive. There is a bearish tinge to them all at this point. So I have to be neutral to bearish slightly across the board here in grains. They just aren't holding. But I don't have the beginning of that bear move because I don't have any downside breakouts. You still could go sideways for a while. Maybe. Same thing for corn. Coming down a little bit. Minor support here. Nowhere near oversold. Nothing is oversold or overbought in grain. And we're in wheat. Same story. There's nothing bullish about this chart that I can come up with. Maybe for a little teeny weeny bounce, but that's it. No big deal. Cattle. Turning south slightly. Bearish engulfing. ER sell signal on the high day exactly so far. Great. On the low day, back here, April 9th. On the low day, March 4th. Well, then don't need to go through all those. You can see for yourself. Next chart is hogs. Wow, it's been going sideways 3 full months. Very unusual. Next, Shell, one of the 4 stocks, closed a little gap. That's done now. Told you it probably would. Coming back up so-so. Not bad. But nothing particularly definitive, just simply an uptrend. Problem, we got a gap to close down here. Don't forget about that. If you start breaking below 65.35, you're probably going to come down more and close that gap. Then maybe it'll start to go up again. Then maybe we're going to be oversold. Then maybe I'll get some buy signals. Same kind of comment for Apple here. Apple looked like it developed the head and shoulder bottom, broke out for 1 or 2 days, looked okay. But then on, in particular, May 21st, it closed way below the neckline, definitely killing the pattern, dropped more the next day, and then more again getting oversold at a little bit of support, bounced yesterday and a little bit today. I don't know. We're getting caught here. A little sideways movement. I'm going to just say neutral for Apple at the moment. Carvana, or no, this is Tesla. Overbought, gapped up. Watch out. This is approaching a top. It might get up to 373 first and then turn down. But I don't like buying anything, new longs, unless it's a put, when the market's in overbought condition approaching the resistance. What about Carvana? Overbought today for the first time in a week. Could have a divergence top. New high in price, but not in the indicator. Watch out. This could be the beginning very soon of a move down. And we'll go back to the E-mini real quick. We're only down 75 cents or so. You guys have a great day and profitable trading to you.